In 2018, a perfume bottle rolled under a rental car seat in a quiet English town. One spray killed a woman, left an ex-spy in a coma, and exposed a chilling trail leading straight to Moscow's most secretive agency, the GRU. This wasn't a random act of vengeance. It was a message. The GRU is Russia's military intelligence service, an organization that officially doesn't exist, yet leaves unmistakable fingerprints on assassinations, cyber attacks, and global crises. For over a century, it has survived revolutions, wars, and political purges. Its officers don't seek fame, they seek results. And while most intelligence agencies prefer the shadows, the GRU seems to enjoy leaving a faint outline, just enough for the world to know who's pulling the strings. So let's step inside one of the most feared and least understood spy networks on Earth, the GRU. Picture Russia in 1918. The Tsar is dead, the Civil War is raging, and Lenin's new government is desperate for information. Leon Trotsky signs an order creating the Registration Directorate within the Red Army, the foundation of what would become the GRU. Its mission was brutally simple: gather intelligence, sabotage enemies, and protect the revolution. Within 3 years, GRU agents, known as illegals, were already planted across Europe, posing as diplomats, traitors, or migrants, feeding Moscow everything from troop movements to political gossip. Stalin, suspicious of everyone, spared the GRU during his brutal purges because it delivered results. While others vanished, the GRU survived. That survival instinct became its defining trait. The agency learned to operate quietly, efficiently, and with ruthless discipline. Even in its earliest years, it understood a truth that still drives it today. Information isn't just power, it's survival. By the 1960s, the GRU had become the sharpest edge of Soviet intelligence. During the Cuban Missile Crisis, GRU officers buried nuclear warheads under mango groves and disguised missile crates as banana shipments. Their entire operation ran under the mantra, deny everything, admit nothing. Throughout the Cold War, GRU operatives infiltrated NATO bases, recruited spies inside Western militaries, and stole technologies years ahead of their time. One of their greatest triumphs came through the John Walker spy ring, a U.S. Navy insider who leaked cryptographic keys that let Moscow read Pentagon messages for nearly 2 decades. While the KGB dominated headlines, the GRU stayed invisible but immensely powerful. It commanded elite Spetsnaz special forces, trained for sabotage and deep infiltration behind enemy lines. By the 1980s, the GRU ran more foreign stations than any Soviet agency, over 200 worldwide. It was vast, disciplined, and anonymous, a network that even Western intelligence struggled to map. Then came 1991. The Soviet Union collapsed. The KGB splintered, its power shattered. But the GRU quietly endured. Funding vanished. Generals sold uniforms and equipment to survive. Yet the agency kept its networks alive, running on sheer grit and institutional memory. When Vladimir Putin rose to power in 1999, a former intelligence man himself, he knew the GRU's value. He rebuilt it as a smaller, tougher, more agile force under the Ministry of Defense. The results showed in 2008, during Russia's invasion of Georgia. GRU reconnaissance teams had mapped every road, bridge, and communication hub years earlier. Cyber units crippled Georgian networks before the first tank even crossed the border. It was a glimpse of modern hybrid warfare. Intelligence, hacking, and ground assault perfectly synchronized. The GRU had evolved from a Soviet relic into a 21st century weapon, silent, precise, and devastatingly effective. By 2016, the GRU had found a new battlefield, cyberspace. That year, a fake Google alert landed in the inbox of a US political staffer. One careless click and gigabytes of emails vanished, later leaked by a shadowy figure calling himself Guccifer 2.0. Investigators traced it back to 2 GRU units, 26165 and 74455, operating out of a yellow Moscow tower nicknamed the Tower of Happiness. The same units soon targeted France's Emmanuel Macron, Germany's Bundestag, and Ukraine's power grid. They used off-the-shelf laptops, burner SIM cards, and a reckless sense of confidence. The cost of each operation was minimal. The impact was global. With every breach, the GRU proved that war no longer required tanks or missiles, just access and timing. Their cyber attacks blurred the line between espionage and warfare, turning the internet into a front line of its own. If you're finding this deep dive gripping, don't scroll away just yet. Next, we'll reveal one of the GRU's most shocking modern operations, a chemical attack on British soil, and how it nearly blew their cover entirely. Hit like if you're still with us, and stay tuned. In 2018, the GRU stepped back into the physical world with chilling precision. Their target, Sergei Skripal, a former GRU officer turned British double agent. Two men arrived in the UK under fake names, posing as tourists. Their mission, apply a deadly nerve agent, Novichok, to Skripal's front door handle. Skripal and his daughter barely survived, but months later, a local woman named Dawn Sturgis died after spraying the discarded perfume bottle on her wrists. The UK identified the suspects as GRU operatives. Moscow denied everything, of course, but CCTV footage, passport records, and flight data told the truth. The message was unmistakable. Betrayal is never forgiven. The Salisbury attack wasn't just revenge, it was a demonstration, a reminder to every potential defector that the GRU's reach extends far beyond Russia's borders, and justice in their eyes can be delayed but never denied. When Russia invaded Ukraine in 2022, the GRU was everywhere, on the ground, in the air, and online. Spetsnaz units led assaults on key airports, while GRU jammers disrupted communications across Kyiv. Their plan was to decapitate Ukraine's leadership within days. They failed, but the attempt revealed the scale of GRU involvement. As the war dragged on, their cyber teams flooded Ukrainian networks with disinformation, leaked fabricated casualty lists, and sent demoralizing texts to civilians and soldiers alike. Western analysts identified at least 6 GRU generals killed in action, proof that this agency doesn't operate from safety, it fights alongside the troops. In modern warfare, the GRU isn't just collecting intelligence, it's shaping the battle space itself. From sabotage to cyber war, it remains the invisible hand guiding Russia's most audacious operations. The GRU's headquarters in Moscow looks unremarkable, a plain complex behind a nondescript brick wall. Inside, the air smells of tea and floor wax, and the officers call themselves room operators, a nod to the cipher rooms of 1918. Promotion isn't about politics, it's about results. Success on foreign assignments brings medals, country houses, and quiet prestige. Failure means obscurity, or worse. Within the GRU, recognition is secret, glory is internal, and names rarely appear in public. Their unofficial creed captures it perfectly. We're not paid to be visible. We're paid to be inevitable. It's a world built on loyalty, discipline, and silence. Outsiders see only glimpses, a leaked name here, a botched operation there. But beneath the surface lies a machine that never stopped working, never stopped adapting, and never stopped watching. From a dusty 1918 directive to cyber attacks that shake elections, the GRU has mastered the art of invisible warfare. It outlived the Soviet Union, adapted under Putin, and now wields keyboards, drones, and operatives with equal skill. Every crisis it touches seems designed to send a quiet message. Russia still plays the long game, so next time a data leak rocks the news or a critic collapses mysteriously abroad, ask yourself, was it coincidence or did the GRU just say hello? If you want more stories that peel back the curtain on the hidden wars shaping our world, hit subscribe and stay tuned for what's next.